Hello and welcome back to another video. Before we start, can everyone please do me a huge favour? Watch the video to the end. It helps. Sometimes you'd have little announcements on the end of the videos, and if you don't watch it at the end, you're going to miss the announcement. But anyway, give me a while to do. Now, regarding the last video I put out, got a good few comments on it. Well, I'll say good few, 12 comments. All saying the same thing, that a lot of people didn't realise you could use the Willis ducts in the way that I've used them, which I was little bit shocked that I thought everybody knew you could use the Willis ducts like that. It's a handy way of pressurising your cabins without having the air vents showing. But I appreciate the comments, and thank you very much for anyone that did comment. So let's get on with this video. As you can see right here, I was going to say behind me, but I'm actually standing on it. We have the Space Pirate Droneyard facility. It's a cool little station slash ship. It's a station. Yeah, you can convert it into a ship and use it. But I mean, it has the look of like clamps here that clamp onto a ship for docking, even though there's no docking connector on it. But yeah, it's a drone yard facility, so like, I mean, one could assume if there's any lore behind a lot of the ships, which in Space Engineers 1 there isn't much lore. It's only starting to get really added into it now, and with the Factorum coming in. Now, one could assume this ship sends out drones, which it does, that attack your ships, which they do. And this looks like the sort of thing that would disassemble ships and reuse the parts of them to create more drones for the drones that get destroyed when they're attacking people's ships. One could assume. But anyway, let's take a look around it. Now, it's not very well powered in the sense that it has like 8 solar panels, 4 on either side, and it has 2 batteries, and that's its limitation in power. So like it's not going to be flying around and using a lot of power, so it doesn't really need much power. Again, like I said, you can convert this into a ship if you do, if and when you capture. I think everyone has captured this at one stage. Like, it's very lightly armed. There's 2 Gatling guns and 2 interior turrets, and that's the armament of the ship. But it has a lot of resources. Like, it has 6 solar farms. There's 2 high oxygen tanks, 1 large container and a couple of one large container and a couple of small containers. And it has, if I'm not mistaken, 2 O2 generators. There's one under here and there's one in here somewhere. Could be, yeah, there's there. Yeah, 2. Now, I actually like capturing this ship, but I mean, it has 3 welders as well. I like capturing it because I think one of the I have a habit of capturing all the stations and then keeping them rather than grinding them down, and I join them all together to make one big amalgamation of a ship. And I actually made a ship using this station and one of the stations that looks like a almost like your 1960s flying saucer. Now, I haven't seen that station spawn in a long time. If I come across it, I'll be doing a refit on it. Yeah, basically, and I combined 2 rust freighters on the back as nacelles and made like a Star Trek looking ship out of it. Do I have my blueprints here? I'll check my blueprints and see if I have it. What was it called again? That's not it. Oh, was it Duckling? The Ugly Duckling Mark II. think that's it. Copy the clipboard. It contains mods. Yeah, no, that's it. This was it before I put the sorcerer section onto it. Well, basically we copy in there. There you go. That's basically that station here. This was built on a modded server, so there was modded blocks on it. Yeah, but I actually had this as the engineering section, and then up here there was a big round section for the bridge and the sorcerer section. But that's basically what I like doing with ships. I like join the modded. As you see, all the modded blocks are gone here. There's modded blocks here. This had the modded conveyor system that you could put them down at an angle. But now that we have the hinges, I could still do that without the mods. I actually might do that. I might rebuild this with using the hinges to get the pipe work up there. So we'll delete that out. That's it. Right, so let's go back down here. We'll have a look at this. Right, so you have the ground down windows here, which I'm not a huge fan of ground down blocks. If I have to use them, I'll use them. I'd rather use the blocks as they're intended, but you have to do what you do to make the build look nice. As the 3x3 wheels and the 1x1 wheels here. So this almost looks like it has the effect of rotating. So maybe get down here. So we're rotating at this axis here. Basically, I mean, again, one would assume. So a couple of windows on the outside. There's a beacon there. There's a antenna down here. A couple of station lights on the sides. There's one thruster in every direction, because, like I said, it's a station. So when it spawns in, this actually spawns in as a ship and not a station. So the thrusters are to keep it in place. Especially if it's spawned near the gravity well of a planet where it's just within the gravity well, ions will hold it in place. Right, so we go inside here. If we go onto the platform here, we'll have a look. It's a pretty basic interior. Here's your 2-block airlock. So it's a pretty basic interior. So what have we got? Your button panel here, which is supposed to okay, but supposed to, because it says it there. Right, it can be door 3 close. So it's supposed to go. There's your 2 batteries there. You have a couch on this side, 2 tables on this side, a small kitchen from the decorative block, decorative pack. It's survival kits. The survival kits in these stations are always turned off. So, and sometimes they're ground down, but when the ones that aren't ground down are always turned off. So my ships will have the same thing. They'll be spawning in but turned off. Right, so come up here. We have an armory on this side, on that side, so a toilet on this side, and we have 2 bunks, 2 beds. Sorry, 2 beds, not bunks. And we have the O2 generator here. Right, so that's this level. A couple of catwalks. We'll come up the diagonal windows instead of the stairs, because again, this was built before the stair blocks were put into the game. And we have a cargo container here. I think there's about 3 cargo containers on this ship. There are 3 small cargo containers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you have 3 small cargo containers and 1 large cargo container on this ship. So there's a half decent amount of storage if you can get this in early game. Now this is the bridge / command deck, and as you can see, it's pretty bare. Like this was before all the blocks, and the flight seat is in the middle of the floor, because these blocks here are taking up the window, because these window blocks are taking up this area here, because these are just the standard windows. So that's more or less the ship tour. It has a couple of LCDs on it that don't have anything, but you can do what you want with them. Probably have a couple of scripts on them, and you have a gravity generator here. Now the ship has oxygen. Where's the vent? There's the vent there. Oh jeez, I missed that. The vent is in behind there. It's the half vent again, because that's all we had in the game at the time. We hadn't got the full block vent. Right, sorry about that. Now, what I've done here is, you actually look back. If you look at the back, there's two stations. Now, they're both basically identical. There's one change on them that's different, but regarding the change, that's only on the outside. So when we tour them, I'm only going to tour the inside of one of them, but I'll show you the outside of both of them. And what I want you to do is, I'm not going to put them onto the mod. I would like you to comment in the comment section to which ship you feel looks better aesthetic wise, because the changes are literally only aesthetic. There's it's not to do with weaponry or grinders or welders or anything. It's literally just aesthetics. And I want you to sort of leave a comment in the section in the comment section of this video to which one of these ships you feel looks better to add into the mod. And the comments that the ship that gets the most comments on which one will be the one that goes into the mod. So I'm letting you choose. I'm not going to choose. I'll let the viewers choose. So let's fly over and have a look. We'll have a look at this one first, because this was the first one I done down the side of the change. Right, so as you can see, I changed the big mandible out to the beam blocks. Because as I was saying nearly on my videos, I love these blocks. I just the detail on them is great. Now I kept the same detail with the windows here, but I changed it from the windows to the armor panels, and I ground them down. Yes, I know I said I don't like ground, but when it comes to making the ship look a little bit better, I think you have to bite the bullet and go against your gut. But the reason why I use the armor panels instead of the windows is because I like the ribbon on them on the unbuilt state. It looks more structural than the window blocks, and that's why I changed them out. Now it looks the exact same from afar, but when you get in close and you can see the build state, the cross bracing just looks more structural. So, and that's why I like it. Now I also added in running lights on the side of the mandibles. I was tempted to put the mandibles on the rotors and hinges and have them, well, as you got closer to a ship, had them close in or open, but depending on the size of your ship, if you went in there, I mean, it could cause a bit of a clang fest and destroy both vessels. So I opted against the hinges and the rotors to move these mandibles. So I just left them static, the way the original is. So we come in here, like I said, of the running lights and the great catwalks in between, so you can still see through the beam blocks. Now over here, I've changed out all the catwalks to the great catwalks instead of the ground down catwalks. And I added in, like I said, I work with structure, so I like making things look like they're structural. So we've added the scaffold blocks in underneath here and wrapped up and around these cylindrical columns instead of the wheel blocks to make it look like that's what's clamping these on, and that's what's giving these. Yeah, I know, yeah, we're technically in 0G, so weight doesn't really matter, but it does. But you still need to have things looking structural, so that's what I've done here. And we've added the railings, the straight railings here as well on the front. Now I changed the wheel block out to the off-road wheel for the simple reason I was planning on grinding this, not ground down and down, but I was planning on grinding it down. And the off-road wheel has a nicer build state than the standard wheel, so that's why this is changed to the off-road wheel. Now, as you can see here, the flatness has gone off the front. Like I always say, I'm not a huge fan of square edges and flatness on ships. I've put in the bridge set blocks in here, you know, because I really like them blocks. If we come around to where the windows here on the side, I've also used the bridge set blocks, but I decided to do something different. I mean, as we all know, especially, you don't necessarily have to use the blocks as they're intended to be used. So I flipped these up on their end and have the front of the block up here to give us a nice viewing out, a nice view out of the inside here, because like these follow the same angle as the light armor slope, the 2B1B1 base, so it fits nicely in there. I've changed all the thrusters out to the warfare thrusters. Now that's annoying me. I don't like seeing the thrusters sticking out, but unfortunately with the way this ship is designed, there wasn't really much I could do to sink that down into the hull. Like, I mean, trying to think. No, there wasn't really much I could do. I suppose I could have. I see. The only space that is available on this ship to sink that down, I think. Oh no, there's not. I checked. I thought there was a space between the cargo container and that here, and this is the only place it would have fitted, and it won't fit. So I had to bite the bullet and leave that sticking out the top. Right, now I've changed all the armament to the Mark II turrets, and all the sonar panels to the what are these ones again called? The colorable solar panels. Now, what I decided to do with this was, and this wasn't my choice, this was I don't know's choice, because I don't know doesn't like the ribbing or the cross bracing that you can see on the side of these solar panels. I actually do. I like the ribbing that's on them. I think it looks lovely because it looks structural. I mean, you want things looking like they're structural on your ship, as you can see here. But I don't know convinced me to cover them with these light armor half panels all the way around, just to hide that. Now, I think it looks alright, but again, I'm going to leave the decisions for these ships up to you that are watching the video. So if you all think that looks good, we'll leave it. If you think it looked better without it, we will take it off. When I say we, I mean I. At your request. Right, so we're going to come down here to the underneath, and we have again the scaffold frames. Which ones are they? These are the angle scaffold frames, slope scaffold frames, to give it the look of structural integrity on the ship. So just to make it look like it's holding things where it's supposed to be. I left the welders where they are, but I covered the side of them up again at the I was going to say not hang on a sec, that looked a bit wrong there. Not request, advice is the word I'm looking for. At the advice of I don't know, I covered them up. Give me that. Give me this. That looks better. There we go. That looks much better. And you see, it's just small things like that can make a difference in the build. Getting rid of the square look off it there. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't know, thought it would look better, like with the side of the welders covered up, and he's right, it does look better. Now I've gotten rid of the large antenna on the bottom here, and I went with the rotor again, with the rotating parabolic antenna with a little eye on the front of it. Like this is a drone facility that actively sends out drones to attack players, so it makes sense to have a rotating antenna that's more or less scanning for players that's in the vicinity to go and attack. Right, I think if you're watching, you can see to the right hand side here this. So what this is because what I've done is I've changed out the, I'm going to get to this now, I have to say this to get to this. I changed out the large cargo container to the industrial cargo container, but the unfortunate thing about the industrial cargo container is it only has a port on 4 sides, where the standard large cargo container has a port on all 6 sides. So this section of the ship couldn't be piped in, because I had to flip the cargo container on the side to feed for the oxygen tanks to feed into the ship, and for the turrets to be fed as well. So I decided to pipe it in underneath here, and I had ran the pipe work across here and down here and back, and it looked awful. So I said, right, what if I use 2 hinges and just keep a straight pipe? So that's what I did. That's what I did, grammar people. That's what I've done. I just added 2 hinges in, and I rotated the hinge up and locked it into place. The only thing about doing this is it creates phantom forces. So this ship is going to want to just slowly turn on its center axis, like this, all the way around. So to combat that, this ship actually has 2 gyroscopes. So all I've done here is I've set one gyroscope to override and set the override to 23%. And that 23% override is enough to stop the ship from rotating on itself. But it's also low enough that it doesn't override this gyroscope when you're flying the station / ship. So you can still maneuver and the ship won't rotate on itself because of the phantom forces from the 2 hinges. Right, so as you can see, I've also gotten rid of all the ground down wheel blocks and I've replaced them with the cylindrical columns because I think they are a nice block. Like I like the detail in them. You can see all the little like the little rivets and Allen nuts in there, like having it bolted together and stuff. So I like that. So I use them. I change all the ground down interior pillars to the truss pillars, with the truss lights on the end of them instead of the interior light. Now again, I haven't changed them to red yet. I'm going to change to red and have them flashing the same way as the original ship. So that'll be all done when it's in the mod, whichever ship you choose to pick. Right, so we're going to tour the inside of this one, but not the inside of that one because they're both identical. I'm only going to show the difference in what I've done on the outside on the other ship. Right, so we come to the doorway here and I've replaced the interior wall blocks here with the pipe blocks. I also done that under the windows out here. I've changed them. Oh, and we put the bay windows in here. And I put the bay window in here as well. I also moved the thrusters from this spot to sink them into the hull a little bit because they were sticking out over there, so they're now sunk in a little bit. Right, so now we'll head on into the inside. And we'll come down here. As you can see, I've changed the doors out to probably my favourite doors in the game now, the hatch doors, and I've gotten rid of that sloped window block and put it in the ladders, and as you can see that closed by itself, or not the ladders, the stairs. I have the automatic script on this to close the doors. Right, so we come in here. The 2 batteries are still there. They're both changed out to the warfare batteries because they're nicer looking battery. They have a little bit more detail on them. I've put an armory block down here. Where's my welder? Yeah, the armory lockers down here and a locker on this side. So we've left the tables where they were. So you can see the detail on the side of those pipe blocks here. We put a plant in there just for decoration because I genuinely did not know what to put in that spot. There is literally not a free spot on this ship to place anything else. Every block is used up. Right, so come in here. As you can see, the kitchen has been moved from there and I've changed it to an inset kitchen here, so the survival kit is gone. On this side we have an entertainment unit with a couch sitting in front of it, so you can sit down and play our games. I wish you could pick and choose which side of the couch you can sit on. So I'm looking here, you sit down, but you automatically sit in this part. I'd love to be able to sit there, or even have it so you could see 2 people in it. I think that would be cool. But I digress. Right, so your ventilation was in that corner. Your ventilation is now behind here and being fed through here. So that's how the ship is being pressurized, again utilizing the Willis ducts. Right, so I've kept the stairs in the middle. Wasn't in the middle, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in the middle, but it was a full block in the middle. So I've changed it to these the grade half stairs, and we come up to this level here first. So we have a toilet on this side and we have a shower on this side, because I have the armory down there. There was only one armory on the ship in the first place, so I have it down here. And we have the bunks, or the inset beds here, so to create a small little cabin without a door, so no privacy on this ship, with the bay window down. Right, and you come over here, same thing. Right, so we're going to come up to the next level, and this is the next level. So what I've done up here, you heard something turning on behind me. We'll get to that now in a second. There's your survival kit right there now. But I decided to add in a cryo chamber too. So now we've an inside cryo chamber on the other side of the cargo container here. And I have, again, because there was LCDs on the ship, I added in this hollow LCD because I really love this block. And there's the inside. This is what these windows look like on the inside when they're flipped up. But these don't look too bad. The detail can work both ways on them. You can see, you can walk in, you can have a look out the ship. You still have the handrails here, and it looks nice. So we have another planter here, and a captain's desk, looking out over the solar panels here, down onto the planet Pertham. Right, as you can see, there's a little bit more life up here. I've closed off the bridge, but not completely closed it off with a door, because I chose not to put another door in here, because putting another door in then means trying to pipe up something to get oxygen into that area there when the door is closed, and it doesn't always work. So I decided to use the passage 3 frame. This actually looks like a decontamination frame, like for decontaminating. You're walking on a ship, you stand here and it sprays you. That's what it looks like. I genuinely think that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I like this block. There's nice detail on it, so that's why I put it in here. Right, so we're coming in here, and there's your control block for your the automatic doors. I just have the angled interior wall there on that side. We have a weapons rack on the right, and we have a locker on the left. Now just putting these console panels in with just with the charts and blueprints of drones on them. But what you heard was this turning on, and it's just a blueprint of the station. That's all it is. So I have this set up. There's a sensor on the roof there, and now the ship isn't booby trapped, so we don't think it's going to explode. Because anybody that has seen the other ships I've done, any of the ships that have had a booby trap on them, I've maintained the booby trap on the new ships. I haven't got rid of them. And if anyone has managed to, which I still haven't, capture the mining transporter, they'll know that that's booby trapped. I'm not going to tell you where the booby traps are. I reckon a lot of people have, well, the 100 odd people that have downloaded the mod have probably used admin powers to capture the ship to find the booby traps in them, so they'll know where it is, where they are, and how they get set off. But anyway, yeah, so this is just set up on a sensor to turn on and off, because some servers don't like projector blocks turned on, because it's, well, not projector block, sorry, the console block. It's technically a projector block. So if there's a lot of these turned on, it can cause some lag within the world. So especially if there's a lot of these ships spawning in, and they're not. I know now with the new, ever since the Contact update, now with the new way of taking over grids, they will be deleted after X amount of time. But because it's just a habit I've done, because I was an admin on a server that had trouble with stuff spawning in, and this is what we used to do. So this only turns on when a player comes up that stairs, and it turns off when he gets out of range. So this is literally the outer range of the sensor. So if we stand here, it'll turn off. If we stand here, it'll turn on, and it just helps with lag on servers basically. That's all. Right, so that's this ship done. We will head over now, and I'll show you the changes that's on the other ship that's different to this one. And I'll leave it up to you lot to figure out which one should be in the world. Right. So the only change I've made is the wheel there on the side, because like I said, I'm not a huge fan of ground down blocks, and there's a lot of ground down blocks in this because of them the armor blocks on the mandibles there. So I've done this instead with the scaffold blocks. I arranged them here to make it look structural rather than using the wheel, and I quite like it. I don't know, wasn't overly enthusiastic about it, but he said it was nice. He prefers the ground down wheel, I think. But it was I don't know, the idea to put the two ships into the video and let the viewers have a say. So I'm letting you have a say. So if you have watched it to this point, thank you very much. And like I said, I want the subscribers and viewers to have a say. At the end of the day, this is not about me. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the best games out. Well, it's one of the best block building games out there. Like, you know, like my very first review on this game back in 2015 was it's a great game. It's Minecraft in space on steroids. So like I'm nearly 7,000 hours into this game, so that just goes to show how much I love this game. And I'm actually very, very excited to see what we can do with Space Engineers 2 as soon as they get it up and running. I know it's in very, very early alpha, so I decided like yeah, just let the subscribers, like I said, it's not about me, it's about all of us. We're all engineers, and I think we all should have a say. So the mod isn't my mod, it's our mod. We all use it, so you have a say on what goes into it. So if you want the ship with the ground down wheel, we'll put that in. If you want the ship with the scaffold blocks, I'll put that in. And that's how it's going to go from now on. I'll be giving you as the viewers a choice to decide which version of the ship is going to go into the mod. So if you like what you're seeing, give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you have something to say, just comment down below. Thank you very much, lads, and I will see you all next week.